Okay. June 2019, paper 3, variant 3. يلا. The volumes of these blocks are different, okay? Aluminum density is 2.83, iron density is 6.95, lead 11.3. Use the data from the table to identify the metal used to make each block, okay? We have 3 blocks. Each block has the same mass. Each block has the same mass. Can I find, okay? Or can I identify which is which? A, B, C. Which of them is the lead? Which of them is the iron? Which of them is the aluminum? Hmm. ولا
هي ايه هتبقى ليد؟
A lead. صح. ليه؟
علشان هي أصغر واحدة بس كبيرة في الدنسيتي.
بالظبط كده. احنا as we increase the density we can decrease the volume. صح. طب lead and B is
ايرون.
iron طبعا، يبقى C is aluminum. جميل. يلا. Another metal block is made of brass, mass 200 grams. The density, can I find the volume? Hmm. How can I calculate the volume?
ماس أوفر دنسيتي.
ماسوفر دي.
Okay. يبقى density equals mass over volume. To find the volume equals a mass over density. Mass is 200 grams. The density is 8.4. يلا someone calculate it for me بسرعة. 200 divided by 8.4 is
24.
كام؟
23.8.
23.8 centimeters cube. حلوة. Yeah, next question. Will describe a method for determining the volume of a small, dense, irregular shaped object. How can I find the volume? How can I find the volume of an irregularly shaped object? What is the method that I should
اللي هو
use? Hmm.
نجيب ميجرنج سلندر ونحط جوه ووتر، نميجر
بالظبط.
الفوليوم بتاع الووتر قبل ما نحط مثلا الستون.
اوكي.
حاجة دي.
حلو. يبقى add some water اهو. Add water to a measuring cylinder. Okay. Record the volume. Okay, record the volume. واحنا we will call it V1. And then add the stone to the measuring cylinder. Record the new volume. Oh, record the volume. I need to be quite specific. Record the volume of ايه بقى؟ Of the stone and the water. صح؟ And the water, and we will name it ايه بقى؟ V2. To find the volume of the stone بقى alone. The volume of the stone alone. What should I do? هنقول له V2 minus V1. Yeah, this is called the displacement method. Displacing some water. Okay. يبقى we add the water, measure volume 1. Add the stone, measure volume 2. Volume of the stone V2 minus V1. Okay. Quite easy, صح؟ ماشي.
في واحدة
يلا.
عايزة تطلع بس ما خلاص.
اوكي يلا. هم. هم. خلاص.
مش هنرسم
في آخر
حاجة
سنتر
هم.
هيبقى
يلا.
تقول.
اوكي.
مستر.
هم.
واحنا مش هنرسم الرسمة فوق.
خلاص.
لا you may draw a diagram. Okay, you may.
آه.
You don't need to. Okay, if you want to you can, but it's not a must.
طيب.
Okay. Yeah. Next question. هنا I have a distance time graph. Use the graph, or use the figure to determine the distance from the man's home to the cafe. Choose a distance time graph for a man walking from the home to the cafe. At the cafe, the man stops for a drink. On the return journey from the cafe, the man stops to rest. What is the distance from the man's home to the cafe?
10.
10. صح. 10 kilometers. Oh, then that's the maximum distance he reached. طيب, time taken to walk to the cafe. What was the time taken to walk all the way to the cafe?
1.5.
1.5.
صح, 1.5. يلا, 1.5 hours. صح, this is in hours. طيب, can I find the speed?
Speed equal distance over
over
time.
time.
يلا, speed equals distance over time. 10 divided by 1.5. يلا,
6.7.
حلو. 6.7. يعني هي 6.6666. We can just write it down as 6.7 kilometers per hour, which would be much easier. On the return journey, the man stopped to rest. The man left home at 1300 hours, at 1 hour, 1 p.m. صح? At 1 p.m. Determine the time when the man began his rest while moving back. The man stopped to rest. Can I find the time at which he يعني started his rest? This point. Okay. He started the rest at this point. Can I find this time? Initially, when he left his home, what was the time? The time was
نعمل 3.5 minus 1.4.
3.5 minus 1.5. ايه ده ليه؟ طب إيه؟ قولي.
ما هو هنا اللاين ده على 3.5 هو
على 3.5. اوكي.
واللاين التاني ده اللي هو هنا ده.
لا لا لا. بص, he's not asking what was the time he stopped for. Okay. He's not asking what was the time he. next question على فكرة for how long did the man rest. هو ده الكويستشن انت you're talking about, اللي هو 3.5 minus ال 4 او 4 minus 3.5. yes. for how long did he rest. yes. 4 minus 3.5 which is 0.5 hours. صح, 30 minutes. هنا he wants it in minutes. خلي بالك, time in minutes. صح. So it's 0.5 hours, which is times 60 should be 30 minutes. Yes, correct. لكن the question هنا is asking me, when did he start his rest in hours? Okay. When did he start his rest? طب initially when he left home, it was 1 o'clock. طيب, after 1 hour, it becomes 2 o'clock. طب after 2 hours, it becomes 3 o'clock. وبعدين هنا 4 o'clock. وبعدين لا, this is an extra half hour, so this will be 16:30. 16:30, which means 4:30 p.m. Okay, يبقى تاني, very simply, he started at 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., and 30 minutes, يبقى 4:30 p.m. Okay, 4:30 p.m., 16:30. Okay, طيب, describe in words how the graph shows that the man traveled at a slower speed on the return journey after resting. How did he
Less
travel?
steep. Less steep.
Less steep. بالظبط, exactly. less steep. This line, this line is a less steep than this line. The slope is less. You can say less steep or less slope. Less steep or less gradient or less slope, whatever بقى. They are all correct. Okay, this is quite easy, this part here. ماشي. هنا 3.1 shows a wheelbarrow. صح. What's the diameter of the wheel in meters? Can I find the diameter of the wheel in
نعمل
meters?
0.35.
يلا, بالظبط. From centimeters to meters, what do I do? Divide by 100, يبقى 0.35. طيب, what about the diameter of the axle, اللي هي 25 millimeters? How can I change that to meters?
بس تبقى
0.025.
0.035.
صح. Divide by 1000 يبقى 0.025. حلو قوي. The mass of the wheelbarrow is 20 kilograms. Find the mass of the load in the wheelbarrow is 30 grams. Calculate the total weight. How can I find the total weight?
مش weight equal mg.
mg.
weight equals mg. What's the total mass دلوقتي؟ What is the total mass? Yeah.
نعمل 20 plus 30 هتطلع ب 50
صح.
فهعمل 50 times 9.8
times 9.8. يلا 50 times 9.8 is 490 newtons. طيب okay. Calculate the moment and include the unit. يلا what's the moment? Moment equals
force
Force
multiplied
and
perpendicular
distance.
distance.
perpendicular distance. يلا الفورس هنا was 140 newtons and the perpendicular distance is very easy.
1.3.
1.30.
1.3 or 1.30. What's the total moment?
180
180. طيب what's the unit بقى؟
نيوتن بالمتر.
per
لا نيوتن متر على طول.
نيوتن
قصدي
متر.
نيوتن متر.
خلي بالكوا there's a huge difference. If you write down Newton per meter, that's wrong. Okay. Newton dot meter أو Newton meter. If it was in centimeters, Newton centimeter.
سر هي المفروض 182 مش 180.
182. Okay. 182. Yes. Next question. هنا I have a flat top cone and a sphere resting on a table. On figure 4.1, mark a cross on each object to show the position of the center of mass of each object. طب الsphere, the center of mass of the sphere would be very easy. Oh, it's almost in the center. صح؟ طيب what about the center of mass of this top cone?
يبقى تحت شوية.
تحت شوية بالظبط. It's not in the center بالظبط، لا it would be a little lower كده. طيب the cone is inverted and balanced on its top as shown. Explain why the flat top cone is less stable when it is inverted. Why is it less stable?
علشان عنده less surface area فالبريشر هيزيد.
لا أنا I don't care about the pressure على فكرة. هنقول yes less area of contact with the ground. Okay.
because surface area decreased.
ماشي. Surface area, that's one point. What's the other point?
اللي هو far from
Gravitational
the
force.
اللي هو
Hmm?
يعني
احنا we had 2 points for the stability يا شباب. احنا we had 2 points for the stability. One of them, yes, what was in less area. احنا when we increase the area, we increase the stability. طيب, what's the other point? How is this less stable? It has to do يا شباب with the center of mass. What happened دلوقتي؟ ما هو initially the center of mass was quite low, صح؟ When I invert the top cone, flat top cone, what happens to the center of mass? It becomes high up هنا. صح؟ Becomes quite high up. يبقى what happened? Less area in contact with the ground. برضه هقول له والله the center of mass, okay? Center of mass is now higher up, okay? As I increase the distance between the center of mass and the ground, the object becomes less stable. That's the whole point. Okay, that becomes less stable. But دلوقتي the center of mass is higher. Okay, surface area is less. Okay, and it can be toppled over. What do I mean by it can be toppled over? كلمة toppled over, it means that it can tip over. Okay, oh, it can tip over, and now اهو it can topple. يعني topple يعني تدلق بالعربي. Okay, it can topple, it can tip over to one side easily. Topple over easily. Okay, that's the whole point. ماشي. Good, easy. ماشي. I have a roller coaster. Car A is lifted to point A. and then released. Complete the sentences. The car has the maximum gravitation potential at which point?
ايه ايه
A بالظبط. Maximum gravitational energy, the highest point above the ground was at point A. طب the car has maximum kinetic energy at which point?
في
B.
B بالظبط. برافو. B. State the principle of conservation of energy.
energy not
What's
be created nor destroyed.
حلو. Energy
But
cannot
can
be
be changed
created
into another type of energy.
and can only be changed or can be transformed to other types of energies. Yes. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Hmm. It can only change to one form or another. One form, oh, yeah, to other forms of energy. To other forms of energies. Other forms of energy. يلا. A machine lifts the car to point A. The machine is not 100% efficient. Suggest why the machine is not 100% efficient. Use your ideas about energy. Why is the machine not 100% efficient?
عشان عملت lose the energy.
بالظبط. Because it loses some energy. Okay. The whole point of efficiency. Okay. If I say that something is not very efficient, and I say when it's not very efficient, it means that it loses a lot of energy. But if it is much more efficient, يبقى it doesn't lose that much energy. يبقى هنا the whole point of efficiency, it means it's not 100% efficient. It means it loses some energy. And I can say the form of energy. Usually the form of energy lost is it loses some energy as heat or thermal energy, as heat or thermal energy. Okay, حلو. Easy. Next question. دلوقتي complete the sentences to describe how thermal energy is transferred. Thermal energy is transferred from the electrical heater to the bottom of the pan by
induction.
induction.
conduction. Yes, because they are touching. Yes, conduction. Thermal energy is transferred through the bottom of the metal pan by
conduction برضه.
induction.
conduction برضو. صح. Conduction برضو. Correct. Oh, عشان he said through the bottom of the metal. طيب, what about thermal energy is transferred throughout the water by ايه بقى؟
Convection.
convection.
Yes, definitely by convection. حلو. A student carries out an experiment to determine which surface has a better أو is the better emitter of thermal energy. She uses two similar metals containing two similar metal containers. One of the containers has a dull black surface. The other has a shiny white surface. Suggest a procedure for her experiment. Okay, she wants to know which of them is a better emitter. A better emitter. How can I know which of them is the better emitter? It's quite يعني simple. This procedure is quite simple. If it is an emitter, what should we do to these containers?
مثلا نحط جواه مية.
Okay, cold water or hot water?
لا hot.
hot water.
Hot water. شباب احنا if we put in cold water it will become an absorber. If we put in hot water it becomes an emitter. فهنا add for example the same volume. خلي بالكوا عشان يعني to make it a very accurate procedure, a very accurate um, experiment. Add the same water اهو. Add the same volume of water to each container Okay, طيب after we add the same volume of water to each container هنعمل ايه؟ It's volume, sorry, of hot water. I'm sorry, of hot water. احنا هنا we have to say and it is hot water. Add the same volume of hot water to each container and then using the thermometer, صح? We can add two thermometers to the containers. Okay, we can add two thermometers near, okay, each container. One thermometer to the left and one thermometer to the right. Okay, add two thermometers near the containers and measure the temperature after مثلا after 5 minutes. يعني you don't need to say after 5 minutes. You can say after a short time or something. The thermometer near the thermometer. Okay, خلاص احنا على فكرة we don't need to predict the results ليه؟ عشان next question he will tell me predict the results. Okay, يبقى دلوقتي I just added the thermometers next to each container and I will wait. صح كده؟ Okay. Which of them predict يا شباب predict which of them will have a higher temperature. Predict the results of this experiment. Hmm. Which thermometer will have a higher temperature? Do you know?
لا.
البلاك طبعا. Okay. The thermometer near the black surface near the black can will have a higher reading. يلا. بس that's it. That's it. يلا. Good. Next question. Shows a ray of red light being reflected. صح. Explain يا شباب why the ray of red light is totally internally reflected back by the surface of the glass block. Why is it totally internally reflected? Hmm. Total internal reflection. Angle of incidence. Yes, correct. Angle of incidence مالها بقى. We have to say that the angle of incidence was
أكبر من الكريتيكال
هو
أنجل.
critical angle.
critical angle. Yes, greater than the critical angle. Yes, برافو عليكم. Angle of incidence was much greater than the critical angle. حلو. Good. برافو عليكم. Yeah. A ray of white light passes through a prism and produces a spectrum of colors on a screen. State the name of the process of separating white light. What is the process?
dispersion.
Dispersion, yes. حلو. Dispersion. حلو. Write the names of the 7 colors. يعني احنا we know the 7 colors صح؟ يلا. روي. give red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Good. Visible light is one part of the electromagnetic spectrum. State the name of one other part of the electromagnetic spectrum and describe the use of this type of radiation. You can choose any type of electromagnetic radiation and explain the use of this radiation. What radiation would you use? I'll choose. Any ideas? شباب literally any radio any انا مثلا هقول X rays for example one of the radio X rays. طيب what is the use of this radiation انا I can say scanning for broken bones صح او metal detectors او صح broken bones scanning broken bones ماشي good. طيب state the name أو state the term given by line XY. What is line XY?
البرنسبل اكس.
principal axis.
Yes, principal axis. Principal axis. On figure 8.1 indicate the position of one of the principal foci. عايزين we need to know where is the principal focus for this question, for this lens. Where's the principal focus? Hmm. Where is the principal focus? Hmm. Any suggestions؟ حلو صح برافو يس يا كريم. يس يبقى this point طبعا أنا and I will name it F. Principal focus F. حلو. On figure 8.1 draw a ray of light from the top of the lens. Okay, to form the image. How can I form the image? يلا very simply we know the easiest line صح. The easiest line is the one that
هيبقى من
passes
تحت
through the
الاف.
تحت ال F. يعني ايه تحت ال F؟
يعني
we will pass the line through the center صح. Now we need to pass the لا 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 امسح ده كريم. we will pass
هي
the
من
line
الأو
through
من
the
الأو
center صح.
لل
center okay اهو and this line will continue as a straight line. طبعا you use the ruler okay. You must use the ruler. طيب where هو he said use a ruler. Where is the image دلوقتي؟ the image is the point of intersection of these two lines. Yes, this is the point of intersection. To label the image I must draw an image or must draw an arrow facing downwards صح. This is the arrow facing downwards. Label the image I. Label the image I. Very easy. What are some properties of this image? What are some properties of this image?
inverted.
Inverted. Okay. What else? Hmm. Inverted.
diminished.
Diminished. What do I mean by diminished? يعني smaller. صح برافو. Smaller. Okay. شباب, there's another keyword that you must memorize for this type of image. Whenever the image is inverted, whenever the image appears on the opposite side, it has to be real.
real.
صح. Okay. This is a new keyword that you must memorize. Okay. ماشي. يلا. A student tests some materials to find which ones are electrical conductors. State the name of the component B.
variable resistor.
Yes, variable resistor. برافو. Variable resistor. Describe how the student can use the circuit in figure 9.1 to test whether a material is an electrical conductor or not. How can he test whether the material, and he has some different materials, several different materials. How can he use this circuit to test whether these materials are conductors or not?
نحطهم ما بين الإكس والواي.
Okay, connect the materials between points X and Y. بعدين hmm. I will connect the materials
نحط
between hmm.
نحط أميتر عشان نشوف الكرنت هيمشي ولا لأ.
Okay.
نحط فيوز.
Fuse لا انت you don't need the fuse هنا. Connect the materials between points X and Y اهو. Between points X and Y. انت هنا we do not need the fuse. هنا we only need an ammeter اهو, which is already given. Okay. Check the ammeter if it gives a reading or not. Check the ammeter. Check the ammeter if it gives a reading or not. That quite easy. ماشي. State which materials are electrical conductors or not. Which of these materials are electrical conductors? Hmm.
الكوبر
كبر والجولد.
والجولد.
Yes, bravo. Copper and gold. The student connects a resistor R between points X and Y. The student determines the resistance of the resistor. Name the instrument he uses to measure the potential difference.
voltmeter.
Very good. Very
No,
good.
no, 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 no. To measure the
اه
potential difference is the voltmeter. Yes. The current in the resistor is 0.2. The potential difference 6. Calculate the resistance. R equals.
V over I.
يلا حلو. V over I. What's the voltage?
6
والcurrent is 0.2. يلا
هتبقى
هيطلع
30.
30 صح. 30 ohms. هنا I have a desktop computer. Desktop computer has ايه يا شباب؟ Um, has a metal case. A fault occurs and the live wire touches the metal case. Explain how an earth wire and a fuse in the plug protect the user. Okay. How do the uh, fuse and the earth wire protect the user؟ طيب واحدة. What does the fuse do? Do you know what does the fuse do يا شباب؟
ميلتس on الكرنت بيزيد.
صح. يبقى الفيوز احنا we can simply say والله the fuse melts okay and opens the circuit when the current increases. اهو الفيوز on the live wire الفيوز on the live wire melts when the current increases. Okay. To protect from overheating. Protect from overheating. Okay. How does the earth wire protect the user? والله earth wire. Does anyone know how does the earth wire protect us? Hmm. Does anyone know how does the earth wire protect us يا شباب؟ Hmm. It protects from what؟ دايما كده احنا we have to say that the earth wire protects from electric shock. Protects the user from from electric shock. Why? Because it's connected to the metal case. The earth wire protects from electric shock. But why? Because it's connected since it is connected to the metal case. Okay. طبعا يعني ايه it's connected to the metal case if there is any
سوري ايه الكلمة دي؟
since. Okay. Since. Okay. If there are any electrons on the metal case and I touch the metal case, I will get electrocuted. So what does the earth wire do? It just takes these electrons and passes them to the earth. So احنا as a user, okay, as users we are now protected from getting electrocuted or getting an electrical shock. ماشي. The computer contains a transformer. The input voltage of the transformer is 240 volts and the output voltage is 12 volts. The input coil has 3000 turns. Calculate the number of turns of the output coil. Input and
هنعمل اللي هو
هو
في بي
يعني
اوفر في اس والان بي اوفر ان اس.
ماشي اوكي انت اهو VP over I prefer VP over MP equals VS over NS بس it's the same انت you said it correctly. You said it 100% correctly مش مشكلة. V okay. VP over NP equals VS over NS. VP, what's the VP? What's the primary voltage?
240.
The primary voltage is 240. What is NP?
3000.
3000. Yes, correct. 3000. Type, what is VS? What is the secondary voltage?
12.
12. Can I find the number of turns on the secondary coil? Yes. NS cross multiply. 3000 times 12 over 240. This would be 150, I guess. 150 turns. ماشي. Easy. حلو. Quite easy. Okay. هنا I need to find the type of radiation which has a charge of 0, a mass of 0, and its nature is an electromagnetic wave. What is this type of radiation?
gamma.
Gamma. صح. طيب. Alpha radiation has a charge of positive 2. What's the mass of the alpha?
-1.
Hmm?
-1.
-1? The mass of the alpha is -1?
ثانية 4.
4. The mass of the alpha is 4. طيب. What's the remaining بقى type of radiation? The third type of radiation we know of is
beta.
beta بالظبط. Which has a charge of
-1.
-1, and the nature of a beta is what?
Electron.
Electron, yes. حلو. The graph shows the decay curve for a radioactive substance. Okay. Can I find the half-life of this substance? What is the half-life of this substance يا شباب? Can someone help me? أو how يعني how should I find it? How should I find the half-life of this substance? Any ideas? مفيش خالص؟ Half-life. احنا whenever we have a graph يا شباب, whenever we have a graph, what's the first step we must do? We take the initial radiation, the initial count, and divide it by 2. Oh, 9,000
هتبقى 450.
divided by 2, 4,500. Okay. 4,500. يبقى from the graph, يلا, let's zoom in شوية. From the graph. احنا we have to do it very accurately يا شباب. Okay. 4,500 هنا. And find the time. هنا يا شباب, it's in the center of the square. It's in the center of this square. طيب, what's the number هنا? What is this number? What is this time? Can someone tell me?
23.
23. صح. ايه ده؟ ليه 23؟ هنا this is 30. يبقى 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. يبقى if it comes in the center, يبقى this is 23 minutes. بالظبط. خلي بالكوا, if you write down 21, it's wrong. Sorry, if you write down 22, it's wrong. If you write down 24, it's also wrong. You have to do it very, very accurately هنا يا شباب. 4,500, it's in the center of the square. Okay. And هنا moves on the center of the square برضو, which is at 23. ماشي. يلا. Last question. Here I have a student who has a magnet and a coil, and he moves the coil or moves the magnet into the coil. صح. Describe how the pointer moves when the student moves the magnet out of the coil. يعني دلوقتي the pointer when he's moving into the coil, okay, the pointer deflects to the right and then returns to the center. يعني he moves it into the coil and then stops in the center هنا. So it deflects to the right, صح؟ sensitive voltmeter, okay, it deflects where? It deflects to the right and stops after يعني على طول, almost immediately. Describe what will happen if the pointer, or what will happen to the pointer when he moves the magnet out of the coil, when he moves the magnet to the left. What will happen to the pointer?
هيديفلكت to the left.
بالظبط. It deflects to the left and then returns to zero. It deflects to the left and then it will finally return to zero. يبقى هنا هنقول له والله it deflects to the left, then returns to zero. حلو. Explain why the pointer behaves as described in A. Explain why the pointer behaves as described in A. Why does the pointer deflect to the left or to the right أو
عشان
whatever؟
عندها magnetic field.
هو ايه اللي عنده magnetic field؟
magnet.
Okay, so the magnetic field of the magnet, what does it do? احنا يا شباب, there are three key words for this question, okay? This question is very يعني famous. Three key words in this question. Magnetic field of the magnet. What does it do? And then what happens? What does the magnetic field of this magnet do?
conduct.
لا, not conduct. It cuts.
cuts.
Okay. اهو magnetic field of the magnet. What does it do? Cuts. Okay, it has to cut. What does it cut يا شباب? Cuts the coil. Cuts يا شباب, it cuts the coil, producing an induced current. Okay, producing an induced current in the wire. Oh, producing an induced. What do I mean by induced? Induced means generated. Okay, you are producing an induced current in the coil. يبقى what are the three words, what are the three keywords I care about in magnetic field? Cuts, and then it induces a current. Magnetic field cuts the coil, which induces a current in the coil. Okay? Easy?
بس ممكن حضرتك تجيب
حلو.
الصفحة اللي قبليها.
Okay.